Welcome to Week 5 Podcast. Welcome, everybody. High scoring weekend. This past weekend. And we're here to talk about it. Rob, let's just get right into the standings and take a look here. Conference 1, Earth, New Denver, 3-2. Bruin Maniac 3-2, Savs 2-3, and Gangrene 2-3.
It's
still anybody's game.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very close, and the points are pretty close too. Maybe Bruin Maniac's a little low on points, but not really. He's just one big week away from hopping back in there, and he's still got the 3-2. So this is going to be 500 is probably going to get this division done unless somebody gets hot.
and in the win division, El Oso Verde, the only undefeated team, sitting at 5-0, and his points reflect that. I mean, it's not like it's he hasn't been getting like cheap wins. I'm sorry, like those low number wins or anything like that. So congrats on that. And the Heart Foundation 2-3, Wolfpack 2-3, and Kells at 1-4. He got a win.
Yeah, good for Kells, man. 668, he's probably played a little bit above that. Yeah, it's getting late very fast over there in that division. Wild card's going to be in play, and you don't want to give away the division right now. We got 9 weeks to go. I mean, anything can happen. The Chiefs are like a mash unit out there at this moment in time, so we'll see. But, you got to win last week with pretty low production out of the quarterbacks, so just got to roll in there. And coming back over to my division, you kind of snickered at the ending when I said 500 was going to get it done. It's not because of the teams are bad. It's we're just kind of beating up on each other, and it's just having some tough games. I think you're going to get two teams. I don't know. El Oso Verde is looking pretty good. Somebody's going to win that division, and it's going to be a wide open race for the wild card, and it's going to come down to the last couple of weeks, no question. So,
yep. And let's look
getting interesting.
Yep, and let's look at Conference 2, Fire Division. TB12 the Great 4-1, Ninja Assassin 3-2, High Rollers 3-2, and the Bagger the Bat at 2-3. T's on a 3-game slide there.
He's struggling a little bit this year. That is 3 in a row, isn't it?
Yep, and he reminds me that he's playing me this weekend, and so we'll go from there.
Yeah, he's on a 3-game slide, and he's still got the second most points in your division, and only missing you by 14. And I'm assuming he's not overly worried about it right now. So TB12 the Great, he's had a little. When you're running at 680, that's good enough for first place.
Sure.
Right now you're hoping to be probably around 650 points to figure your team's been okay to this year. It's about 130 a week. Does that sound about right, Sam?
Yeah.
Yes. So anything below that, you're kind of you're hoping your team gets going. So, and obviously anything above 700 right now, you're feeling real good about yourself. So,
Yep, and in the water division, Degenerate Bastard 4-1, Autumn Wind 2-3, Straight LA and Sego 1-4. And if you look at Degenerate Bastard's score, 545.
I think this is an anomaly. If I'm not mistaken, let me look over here real quick. I'm looking for Autumn Wind's score from last week, just because this is the kind of interesting trivia that I tend to notice. Oh, yes, exactly. He scored 254 points last week, and if you notice the difference between his 2-3 and his total points and Degenerate Bastards leading it is exactly 254 points. How weird is that, Sam?
Wow.
It's almost. Obviously Michael didn't score 0 last week, but that's a 2-game with almost 250 points. There's some. That's what we call fluky, and of course, Straight LA right below it. It's kind of, 797. But then look at Autumn Winds giving up 842. Dude, this division continues to blow my mind. I love it.
Yeah,
funnest division in our league.
Yeah, let's jump right into our first matchup here. The Bagger the Bat versus TB12 the Great.
TB12 the Great.
Like I was commenting earlier, the Bagger the Bat. He's just been getting close matchups. Close losses. I'm sorry, and you can see here, just barely lost by 3 points.
I really like Tay. I'm loving his new shtick he's got going, where he's just dropping guys outright, which you can do. I mean, you can't pick anybody up before the waiver wire goes, and you're welcome to drop guys anytime. It doesn't charge you, by the way. He's just dropping guys because he just couldn't stomach the idea of having Baker Mayfield in that horse shit performance on his roster any longer. He couldn't even make it to Thursday, dude. I mean, he came in with a 13 quarterback rating on Monday night. That's just not going to get it done, man.
No.
And so, you're not going to win a lot of games when you get 5 points out of the quarterback. So combined, right? 2 quarterback league, and you're coming in with 5. You're going, how'd I lose? It was remarkably close because the Eagles just decided to trounce all over whatever that was that the New York Jets put on the field on Sunday is it's just not okay, man. Right?
I know. I hear it. And Sam Darnold's supposed to come back for them, and we'll see how that goes.
Well, I mean, unless oddly, I didn't watch any of the game. I mean, 10 sacks, dude. I think, it was kind of bouncing back and forth between 9 and 10 sacks. Last I saw, it was 10 sacks, and I think that's what it stayed at, 10 sacks. I mean, that's just a complete failure of a football team. They turned 2 touchdowns, given up. I don't know how many turnovers. I mean, it's not okay.
Yeah, and of course 0 from Odell Beckham. So that obviously hurts Tay too. But
yeah.
But yeah, let's go and talk a little bit about TB12 the Great real quick. 68 points from Christian McCaffrey. I mean, that guy's a stud over there.
Yeah, he had a huge game. I mean, it's that big run late too. It's like an 84 yarder or something like that, which I think that was. I'm positive it was. If not all of that, a good chunk of it was in double bonus time too. That's somewhere near like a 34-point run. So it's man, that's kind of nice, right? So that guy's a great player.
He is.
Keenan Allen, though, my other guy, though, he kind of that game was kind of ugly.
Yeah,
we can talk about Odell later, though, right? We'll talk about him when we get, I think, over to Cody, right?
Yeah, and I just want to bring up Phillip Rivers. 1 point. My Denver Broncos are on the board. Oh yeah, win. Man,
that team's not quite the mass unit that Kansas City is, but. Dude, they're kind of starting to look like a geriatric unit, especially about 5 feet behind center right there. So that was ugly.
Yeah.
Wow, man.
Okay, let's go to our next matchup: High Rollers versus Ninja Assassins. I mean, good points from Tom Brady. What's up with Mahomes, huh? Chiefs fans, two weeks, only 1 touchdown, huh?
Well, that's pretty easy, really. I'm not going to make excuses for him, but he's missing the left side of his line. His ankle's broken or kind of banged up. And let's be real, it was Travis Kelce and a whole bunch of guys playing their 4th NFL game on Sunday. That team's supposed to have Tyreek Hill. It's supposed to have Sammy Watkins run the slot, and then you're supposed to be able to, get Demarcus Robinson. In no time was Demarcus Robinson ever supposed to be your number 1 wide receiver. So, they played a little. I mean, that was against rookies too. I don't think man coverage is what's good enough to beat them, because if you remember correctly in the Super Bowl last year, that worked for New England in the first half and did not work in any capacity after that. So you're talking a talent level here, man, right?
Yep.
I mean, and let's be real, Mahomes, he was playing his heart out in that game, dude. I mean, he's limping around out there trying to do everything he can. But I mean, at some point, if our league was the other 10 guys on the offense out there, Patrick Mahomes wouldn't be any good, man.
No, and and I was up by 40 going to Monday night, and he had Chubb going. And my last 2 weeks with my luck, I was like, okay, I'm going to lose, Monday night, because my last 2 weeks I lost on Monday nights, but Chubb didn't do anything. I mean, let's talk about High Roll side real quick. Chubb didn't really do much for them. Jameis Winston, he's finally blowing up. What, these last 3 weeks? I mean, I've always said he's got a long arm and he's got a lot of talent around him. Even though Mike Evans put up a goose egg this week, it's Godwin came back. He wasn't even supposed to play, maybe, but it was he throws the interceptions. How about Aaron Rodgers actually handing the ball off? That was bizarre. That's crazy. Hey, you beat the Cowboys. That was surprising at Dallas.
Yeah. And one more comment here real quick on this game. Exactly why have the Cleveland Browns been on primetime TV twice this year?
That off-season hype, you know?
Well, yeah, I mean, they're from Cleveland, and they didn't even have a 500 record last year. I mean, and they're on like 4 or 5 more times. That's some bullshit, man. I mean, I should not have to watch that garbage on Monday night, dude. I hate that team, dude. I mean, that quarterback, Rex Ryan, he kind of piled on him in a lot of areas, but one thing he is right about is that dude is slow, man, and he can't see over his line. No one's like, there's some meme out there that he always rolls right so he can see down the field, you know, so it's that's all right. Enough Cleveland bashing. We'll get to Odell later, that pathetic fumble. But moving on.
Yeah, moving on. Let's go to the next matchup. Degenerate Bastard versus Straight LA. Degenerate Bastard, pretty good. Like the top, his top 4 skill players there. I mean, quarterbacks and running backs all did pretty well.
Yeah, no, he's had a nice week there. I mean, Kyler Murray showed up pretty good against the Cleveland Bengals, so he's, every now and again that kid shows something, you know. I still, I don't know if he's totally viable, but he's certainly one of the more viable fantasy quarterbacks this week. So, probably not a good week to drop him against Cincinnati going in. God, dude, he didn't have a very good game.
No, he didn't. I mean, his fantasy game is good, I guess, for this week. But, the Cowboys haven't played anybody really this season until they played, Green Bay. And then, they played
New Orleans a week before, and Dak didn't play well. So
yeah,
I know you love Dak Prescott, right?
No, I loved him in college. Don't get me wrong. I watched him play every game in college, But I don't know. But yeah, so that helped. Leonard Fournette showed up finally. Nothing from his receivers though.
Yeah, no, it's a bad day on the receivers. Cooks is useless as a fantasy wide receiver. I mean, I swear to God, all he does is run up and down the sideline, and it's just, I harp on guys like this because I argue with my son all the time. I go, is he good? Why is he good? Why? I mean, I keep waiting. Tell me why he's good. Because they say he's good? Because I don't see it, okay? He's fast. Straight LA, man. Jared Goff, that was, a decent start. Zeke, that offensive line is not good in Dallas right now. Just another, goddamn, Mike Evans was 0.
Yeah, straight LA, 121.
It's just bad. I mean, he really is doing pretty good right till you get into those wide receivers. And I mean, full confession, I really don't know anything about Mark Andrews, the tight end. I think I saw him against Kansas City. I'm not picking it apart there. I mean, Galladay's injured. I was just looking at that. I mean, 8 points out of 3 guys. That's like getting green light, man.
Defense solid.
Yeah, dude, give me a break. The Patriots at this point, I mean, come on, man, right? Enough is enough.
What are you talking about? The schedule? Huh? You talking about the schedule?
I'm talking about the schedule. I mean, you know what I'm really pissed about is Todd took the damn Patriots as the second defense. He didn't take them as their number one, and I'm like, how did we all sleep on that? How do I miss this schedule? It's like Bill Belichick is doing like mind control on you. It seems so obvious now because every week I'm like, oh my God, they're literally playing Appalachian State this Sunday. I mean, it's ridiculous. I know they got to play the Cowboys and the Eagles at some point, but it's like, when do these games start? I mean, because it's like, oh, okay, they're finally not playing their own crappy division. Oh, they're playing the Washington Redskins. Oh, and now we're going to go play the New York Giants and a rookie quarterback on Thursday night. It's like, God, that team sucks the fun out of everything, don't they?
I mean, I was the first one to draft the defense on our side, and I got Chicago defense. I mean, I wish I would have known about New England. You know what I mean? but anyways, yeah, tough luck with straight LA. But
my question is, how did we not know? I mean, all you had to do was look at the schedule and go, oh, man, that looks pretty easy. I mean, how much can we put into Sam Darnold and freaking like whoever's going to play in Washington? I don't know. at this point, it won't last forever, but at this point, I mean, they're starting to look like a first-round draft choice, man. So it's outrageous. It's straight LA, brother. We love you. You're having just bad luck this season. I mean, good game by Michael on the other side. That's good enough to win. It's just, I almost feel for the poor guy. It just is not working for him. So it's the schedule. So moving on.
Let's go to Sago versus the Autumn Wind. 155 points by Sago would have beat most people during the week. You know what I mean? But he just went up against the Autumn Wind.
Some people.
It would have beaten some people. And then the Autumn Wind puts up 254, the weekly high score of the season. And honestly, Rob, I don't know if anybody's going to beat that. I don't think so.
Oh man, what's funny about it is he's just rocking it, except for Austin Eckler and the -4 out of Jacksonville, man. Other than that, it's just Lord Almighty. I'm assuming that he had a hell of a nice weekend in between that fantasy football game and the Raiders' ridiculous upset of the Chicago Bears. And I'm assuming he's feeling pretty goddamn good about himself today, and justifiably so, man. 254 is gonna win it most years, right?
Oh yeah.
We can see it going up from there. You can get a perfect storm, but no offense, Scotty, but we're going to skip over your team and talk about Autumn Wind here this week. Matt Ryan, 44, and he still lost Deshaun Watson. I mean, Deshaun Watson's either 50 plus or like 7, right?
Yes,
this year?
I think, I don't know, has he had many blowout games? I think these two quarterbacks for him are like really misses, and I think these are just the only hit this week, right?
Well, no. Deshaun had a big week earlier this year. Matt Ryan, I don't know what's going on there, but
Ryan.
Freaking Allen Robinson, I see that name and I just think of all the wide receivers I could have picked up this week instead of, even though Calvin Ridley did fine for me, but that probably would have gotten me a win. So, but this isn't about me. This is about the Autumn line. Allen Robinson, Adam Thielen, kind of throws a little tantrum, throws his, best buddy apparently under the bus, and it's all good there. But he gets his numbers. Michael Thomas, 45. This is just a ridiculous week. Yeah, it's gonna be fucking hard to beat 255, right? 254.
Yep.
And look, he's got Matt Breida sitting on the bench. You fool! If you would have benched Austin Eckler and put Matt Breida in there against Cleveland, which wouldn't have been a bad start, to be honest with you. It's San Francisco right there. You don't know what you're going to get out of that. But let's be real. That's a very plausible start, and he's running at 289 right there if he had done that. And highly unlikely you get everything to come together like that again. That's pushing the one time it's been done, the 300 number. Yeah. One time.
Yep. So congrats, Autumn Wind, on that big week right there.
All hail the Autumn Wind. He deserves the applause this week.
Let's go to the other conference. Let's talk about Bruin Maniac versus New Denver. New Denver putting up big points. 170 is pretty large. Even though, he got one from Phillip Rivers, of course, Deshaun Watson, Godwin, Tampa Bay, you mentioned that earlier.
What stands out right away is just in my point of view here, I see Deshaun Watson, Austin Eckler, and Jacksonville Jaguars. Again, it almost looks like the Autumn Winds thing, minus, the whole, everything else. But he had, God dang, it almost looks like his week. It was like either just complete explosion, like the 66, 35, and 45, Godwin and Thomas, or just pure crap, right?
Yep. Yeah. 170. Geez. Michael, was that Teddy Bridgewater at QB too, right? Oh man. So that's let's say Tampa's defense is not very good. Yeah.
And good for Bridgewater. How do you not root for that guy? That was a gnarly injury he had. He's stuck with it. He's also obviously a very smart guy because he passed up the opportunity to go down there and start in Miami. So all hail Teddy Bridgewater is a pretty good gig. He's like, man, I could stay here in New Orleans and maybe eventually get my shot backing up Drew Brees, work on this team, or I could go to Miami and get my knee broken. I think I'm going to stay in New Orleans.
For a team that's going to tank.
Yeah, no good week. Jumping over Brute Maniacs, again, it's one of those that, dude, the Cowboys defense was crap this week. It's
like you said,
just a bad.
Yeah, and like you said about Zeke, 18-pointer, like he's just your average 18-point running back. You know what I mean?
all he ever does, man. I mean, it's he one day he's going to get a 35, and everybody's like, yeah, see, I mean, now you're 4 games out of first place. You know, you didn't. I think my main thing with Zeke that I don't like is I can't stand that whole feeding himself with the baby spoon thing he does. It drives me crazy. You know? It's like the most annoying. It's hard to say. It's the most annoying.
Is it more annoying than Cam Newton how he signals first down? Is that more, because Cam Newton really that annoys me.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's.
Remember how he used to dab?
Yeah, but Cam's kind of, I don't know. At least Cam seems like he's just trying to be kind of like a big personality, whereas he's like, yeah, you gotta feed me. And you're like, oh, feed you. It's kind of stupid. The whole, feed you what? I mean, you eat oatmeal. It's dumb. I don't know. Anyway, we spent way too much time talking about Zeke's lame ass, celebration, or he gets an 8-yard run and he's like, feed me, and they're like, yeah, we get it, feed me. Okay. Yawn.
All right. Let's go to the next matchup. Saz versus the Gangrene. Oh, close matchup, Rob.
Okay, this game's bullshit. I mean, who the hell only gets 2 points out of a kicker? Especially a guy that just won the damn. It just won. He was just named the player of the special teams player of the week from the week before. I get 2 points. I swear to God, I think I've got like 1 field goal on the entire season, dude. 5 weeks in, I got 1 field goal. That's it. And this guy, he's out there missing extra points. I almost forgot we eliminated. You lose a point if you miss an extra point because,
yep.
And justifiably so. It's just lame, dude. But I mean, at one point he was up to 3, but then he came down to 2. I mean, I literally am going to pin this on the kicker. That and the Chargers really? I mean, they gave up I could use the 7 points the other way. I win this game. I mean, this game's ridiculous. Jaime and I were kind of going back and forth. I said, man, I started pounding you with your cast-offs, Russell Wilson, and you ended up ending me with my cast-off, George Kittle, man. So Jaime had a good week, dude. Good for him, man.
Yeah.
He's always a fun guy to play because it's he's like I told him, I like playing the he's a good player, man. He tries real hard every single week, so I'm all for it, man. It's he got me again. I'll see you down the line, brother.
Yeah, 3 points, pretty close, Rob. That's all right.
I'm coming with a kicker next game, man.
Let's go to our next matchup: the Heart Foundation versus El Oso Verde. El Oso still staying undefeated. Let's see what we got here. Baker Mayfield, -6. But
yeah, I mean, this is Cody comes in with a whole lot of Christian McCaffrey and just some average performances the rest of the way, and then really God, I mean, Odell and Evans. That's God. I mean, you see those names and you're going, this is what my team's built on here. Mm-hmm. I mean, those wide receivers didn't come cheap, and because I promise you they were both drafted before Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't remember the exact order, but I'm going to assume they came in before Garoppolo, and I'm going to guess Sonny Michel. So, I mean, you coming in with 0 points. Odell did have 3 points until he did whatever the hell that was on the punt return and left the ball hanging out there, and you got the predictable result. I literally give it 2 weeks till this guy goes just freaking napalm, dude, right?
I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet. So.
It's, I mean, maybe he's just depressed having to live in Cleveland. Wait till it gets cold. I mean,
true. Yep.
Yeah. Mike Evans, man, he's a great player. It's just a weird week. I mean, they just shut him down, man. That dude from New Orleans is the shit, man. He came in hard, shut him down, and then, we already piled on Mayfield earlier, -6. And also Verdi, pretty pedestrian week, obviously propped up by the monster performance out of the Eagles. And I mean, again, 10 sacks, it just blows my mind. And, just enough. I really regret the time I told him that I thought Mark Ingram and Derrick Henry were bad running backs, because week after week, I got like losers like Kamara and freaking, the Dalvin Cook, Derrick Henry and Mark Ingram there, it's godlike. So, yeah, he got 144 is good enough to get a win. You take it where you get it, right?
And who has Matt Ryan been throwing to if it's not Julio Jones? I mean, Calvin
Well,
Ridley
I
got
can tell
one.
you, he finally threw one to freaking Calvin Ridley this week.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't know who. I don't know how he was putting in that numbers. But
Well,
anyways,
I think the reality is Matt Ryan really hasn't been throwing to anybody, Sam.
yeah.
I mean, have you seen how bad the Falcons have been across the fantasy football world this year?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like Julio Jones is doing anything. So, yeah, Julio comes in with a 4. So,
yeah, he signed that big contract.
Julio's signature moment this year was he catches it. It was like Tim Tebow's signature moment, where he threw the ball out to Demaryius Thomas and he ran it in. I mean, Julio, Matt Ryan threw it there and he kind of ran it in. So,
right.
Julio, oh no, Julio's still playing hard. That don't have nothing to do with him getting paid, man. That guy. That dude's the real deal, man. He's a serious professional.
No, I'm not knocking him at all. I like him. Let's go on to our final matchup, Wolfpack versus Kels. Kels' first win, and it was big score, 188. So congrats, Kels, on that. Yeah.
Can you just, instead of me saying anything, can you just shoot off fireworks for the last 5 minutes of the podcast here for poor Kels?
Oh, I know, right? Here. Let's do this from right there.
Lord. Amari Cooper, man, 48 points in a losing effort.
Yeah. He has games like that, Dallas. But yeah, Tom Brady, Kyle Murray. I mean, I know you spoke about Kyle Murray before, but this has to be his best fantasy point week, right, Rob? If I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah, man, break up the band, dude. 27, dude. That's yeah. Okay, so anyway, yeah, that was something. Man, Wolfpack kind of got a burn job there, man. I mean, 167 is that good enough right now for the bad beat? I can't remember. I don't check this stuff till like week 9 because I mean, it's what's the point?
Yeah.
I mean, he had a week good enough to win, but Sammy Watkins. Hamstring injury and all. He let Todd Gurley on the bench too. That was a little weird.
And he drafted him high.
Well, yeah. I mean, at no point do you put David Montgomery in front of Todd Gurley ever. Okay, it's just that simple. So, I mean, David Montgomery, he looks kind of slow out there. So, I mean, they traded up to get him, if I'm not mistaken, right?
It was the jet
I'm
lag.
making this up.
Yeah, jet lag. It was a jet lag, to go over there.
Enough for the Raiders win. But Kell's good for him, man. I mean, he's doing this all without Le'Veon, too.
Well, now, what do you think about Le'Veon with Sam Darnold coming back? I mean, do you expect big things from Le'Veon?
No, man, that's a bad football team there. I mean, Adam Gase, what's he ever done? I mean, I love the amount of guys that have been made famous by Peyton Manning. So it's Adam Gase being one of them. They were buddies. But what's he done? I mean, what did he do in Miami? I mean, what did he do in Denver after Peyton left? What's he done in New York? Come on. He's a lame coach in my opinion. So why would Le'Veon do anything there? Yeah. That's a bad. Remember, Sam, I know they were pass blocking allegedly, but I'm thinking that offensive line isn't very good if you give up 10 sacks in football at all.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We'll have to see. Because I have Le'Veon too, and I have, I'm invested in this. Okay, Rob, I'm invested.
Well, I'm sorry. You might want to think about making a trade if we could for David Montgomery from the Wolfpack here, because Le'Veon Bell got what Le'Veon wanted. He got paid, and good for him. I mean, I'm sure he's cool with it, but I mean, it's God, dude, that Jets team. That's ridiculous. That whole. Okay, the Bills are okay, but that division is ridiculous.
Yeah. And on that note, thank you for tuning in on Week 5 podcast. The waiver wire opens tomorrow afternoon, so get your picks in.
PM.
Yeah, now I know Tay has to pick up a QB because he dropped Baker.
Dude, and you know what? He's sitting back smoking a cigar right now, feeling pretty good about himself because he's unloaded the baggage that is Baker Mayfield.
So for Rob, I'm Sam. Thank you for tuning in, folks.
See you, Sam.